Hello Aquarius, and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name's Colette and I am an intuitive tarot reader with over 30 years experience, and I'm here today to do a reading for all you Aquarians out there who are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising, Cusp Aquarians. And if you don't know where those placements are, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out for yourselves. This is a general read, so it's not going to resonate with everybody out there at this time. Your natal link may help you understand a little bit more about yourself, and also if this reading doesn't resonate with you, then you may want to go and check out the other placements for your readings as well. So if you've got your moon, say, in Virgo, then you may want to go and have a look at the Virgo read that I will be putting out there, etc, etc. So if it doesn't make any sense, check out the other signs that I will be doing the readings for too. So this reading, I am starting off, Aquarius, with the Spirit Animal Oracle card here of the Hawk, which has come out in reverse and is saying to me, because a hawk has the ability to fly high and to see the bigger picture and to also see things on a microscopic as well as a macrocosmic level, so he can see the big picture, he can also see things very fine detail close up, but it's in reverse. So it's basically saying here that he's not doing a lot of flying, so you may feel as though you're kind of in a place where everything around you is magnified, you're kind of seeing all the details, but you're not really seeing the bigger picture. And you also may be not picking up on signals, because the hawk is also about understanding. It's like something is trying to tell you something here, Aquarius, and you may not be listening, you may not be intuitively hearing it. You may be ignoring the signals and the signs that are coming your way. You may be reading a book and a word jumps out at you and you think, oh, that's interesting, and then you just kind of carry on. It's kind of saying, take notice of what's going on around you in your environment at this time, because it is important, because the universe here is trying to bring you a message. It's trying to make you aware of something, like maybe even a warning about something at this time. So just kind of become a little bit more open to receiving messages from your higher self or from the universe, or just in your environment in general. You may go outside into your environment and something kind of grabs your attention and maybe it's trying to tell you something. Just be aware that at the moment it kind of feels as though the universe is shouting at you and you're not necessarily hearing it. So let's start your reading, Aquarius, with the first card here being the Four of Coins, Four of Pentacles, which is saying you're holding on to something very tightly at this time. And it feels like you've got to a place where you're kind of steady in what it is that you're doing, but because of that you're clinging, holding on really tightly to what you've got, whatever it is that you've built up around you, whatever it is, whether it's a financial situation, which it could be holding on to what you have. There may be a fear element here as well, that if you let go of anything, or if you're over easy with your money at this time, that you're not going to get any more. It could be this energy of just wanting to keep the status quo the way it is because you don't know what's coming next, so therefore it's easier to hold on to everything. It's kind of it feels like you trying to kind of desperately keep things in the same place, holding on to something the way it is because you don't want it to change, because the covering and challenging card for you today, Aquarius, is the Two of Wands, and this is saying that there is going to be change here. This is your challenge. This is what you need to see. This is what you need to be aware of. Maybe this has also got something to do with the signs that are being shown you at this time as well. Maybe you have reached this crossroads in your life and you're kind of not sure which path to take. Maybe the universe is trying to guide you in some way and you're still kind of like not noticing, or you're still kind of like thinking, I still don't know which path to take, whereas, you know, there's like a neon sign at the end of it saying this way, and you're still kind of like, wonder which way I should go. So that's how it kind of feels. It feels as though you're kind of trying to stay in the energy that you're in somehow with this Four of Coins, because the Four of Coins also needs to allow the energy to flow. It's like holding on to something so tightly that the energy can't flow. It can't take you where it wants you to go, because you're kind of in a way being stubborn here, Aquarius. You're stubbornly holding on to something, stubbornly not releasing something from the past maybe. But it feels like a kind of determination, but also a sense of fear in a way, of not wanting to drop what you've got, of not wanting to trust the universe in many ways. It's kind of saying trust the universe, because when you're holding on so tightly to something, you're not trusting the universe. You're not trusting that the universe knows where it's taking you and where you're heading, and that it's got your best interests at heart here as well, because you're not allowing the flow. And that could also be to do with your intuition, the messages that I was talking about as well. It could also be you ignoring those and kind of still holding on to what it is that you believe is right for you, which may not necessarily be the same as what the universe is trying to show you here. What's in your head and what you're aware of at this time, Aquarius, is the Justice card. Energy of the Justice card. It's saying that you're wanting this fair and balanced approach on something, wanting harmony, wanting things to work out in a fair way. There may be a situation in your life where you're having to weigh things up for yourself here. Again, it reminds me of these two paths, this decisions maybe. Justice can also be about decisions being made, but it's also because it's a higher energy. It's kind of a decision that is out of your hands somehow. It's kind of like a situation that has already got the past, the present and the future already kind of being decided, because the future has already been decided by the past and the present actions, is really what the Justice card is saying here. And that maybe you're kind of seeing that, you're becoming aware of that, you're becoming more kind of clued into that. But you also may not want to also be, you know, you may still be holding on to this past energy here as well. So it's in your head, it's what you're aware of. Justice is blindfolded as well. She's blindfolded for a reason, because she needs to be able to make the decisions without having an emotional attachment to something. So that could also be, as I was saying, something to do with this energy here as well, holding on to something very tightly emotionally. It just feels like a blocked energy to me. It just feels like something that's stuck, something that doesn't want to, that you don't want to possibly even change direction. That you're trying to keep that. Maybe that is the status quo for you here as well, this card here. Maybe you're feeling that But if you kind of keep things the same, then it will be all right. It could also be legal issues for some of you Aquarians out there. It could actually be you dealing with the courts themselves, because of course justice is about the court system. If you look at these scales here as well, it's weighing things up in the balance here. But on many levels, because it is a major arcana, it is kind of saying that this is something that is happening on a larger scale in your life. Something that is kind of out of your hands in some ways. Because what you have moving away from you here is the World card in reverse as well. So these are both big energies. The Justice card and the World card are big energy. And in reverse, the World is saying that a cycle is coming to an end here. Something is taking its time. And it could also, like I was saying, have something to do with this justice energy here. You may be in a situation where you can't move on until this is sorted, until there's justice has been served. And maybe that's why you're trying to hold on so tightly before you can take a new direction and a new path here, Aquarius. But it could also be the reason why this is taking so long to close out is because you are refusing to move beyond this energy here. You could be keeping yourself in this place. This could be you not allowing that cycle to finish, to end, because you're stubbornly holding on to that energy. Trying to, like I was saying, trying to keep that status quo. Trying to keep things in balance, trying to keep it working in your favour here. But at the same time, because this is in reverse, it's kind of saying to me that there is something that needs to be closed out, ended, finished, let go of, in order for this to be able to complete and come to an ending. Underneath it, in your subconscious, you have the Three of Cups, which is about a sense of celebration, a sense of joy, a sense of happiness, a sense of let's party, let's have some fun. In the subconscious realm, it could be to do with you feeling as though you're not able to enjoy life at this time as well. Like this is where you're coming from. Like this is the root cause or the root energy of this is you're wanting, or maybe you have in the past over celebrated as well. It could be overindulgence here as well, which is kind of maybe led up to this situation that you're in now. It could also be third party. It could have been somebody else involved who shouldn't have been involved. This could be why you're kind of holding on to something here and not wanting to take this new direction. It does feel, it's feeling to me as though today this is kind of somebody pushing their way in between two people. That's kind of how it's coming across. It's kind of feeling to me like somebody has kind of pushed their way into something that they weren't necessarily invited into. It's kind of like they've decided that this is where they want to be. They're going to be almost like a friend, a good friend in a way, like they want to be a friend, they're kind of attached. It feels like somebody's attached themselves to you, Aquarius. And not necessarily that you've invited that company in, but it's not that you didn't enjoy their company either, but it feels as though it could have been, it could have caused some issues here, some problems. And maybe also been the reason why things have changed. And maybe you're not accepting that change as well. Maybe you're not wanting to accept that this, whatever this is coming to a close here. Is an ending of a cycle, that something is finished. But what you do have moving in is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is saying that there is a new opportunity coming your way. And I think that it goes quite nicely with this 2 here as well. And also, it's kind of saying to me that, you know, if you do drop this, if you do let this cycle play out, and you do let go of whatever it is that you're holding on to, so defiantly in a way, determinedly, then this will be able to come in, because at the moment you can't hold any more. At the moment, that's all you've got room for in your arms here, is this. Could be past memories, could be to do with financial situation, could be that you're feeling as though somebody's trying to take what you have. But either way, it's kind of blocking an energy here. It's blocking something from finishing and moving on, something that needs to be ended, something that needs to be finalised is what's coming over for me strongly, more than anything else. Because when you do, this is what can move in. Because you can't carry any more. But this is a new opportunity. This is saying, this is a new, not just opportunity, but it's a new, it feels like a new pathway. It does feel to me like it's part of this whole scenario here, choosing this new direction, this new creative endeavour, this new idea, this new way of dealing with your finances and values on things as well. Bringing in something new, doing something with it. When the aces come in, it's like a new energy that needs to have direction. It needs to be channeled, because if it isn't channeled, if it isn't given a kind of direction, a route, knowing where to go, it will just kind of fizzle out and turn to nothing. So it's kind of an opportunity to learn how to manage your finances better, maybe to kind of grow something from something fairly small here, because of course all oaks grow from acorns. And that's kind of what it's feeling like. The opportunity is there to make something much more definite in your life, much more productive and fulfilling, satisfying, something grounding in your environment, something that's going to feed you, sustain you, something that you're going to put your passion into as well, desire. So let's see what else we have here. Let's do some clarifying and see what we get for you, Aquarius. So why do we have the 4 of Pentacles and the 2 of Wands here for Aquarius? Why is the 2 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles here for Aquarius? Please, source energy. Oh, there we go. Flipped over. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And the Five of Pentacles is a feeling of being shut out from something. And of course it's coming after this Four. So this may be why you feel so desperately that you're having to hold on to what you have, because there is this feeling or this energy around you, this situation of where you are being pushed out from something. Something that you had put some time and energy and effort into, something that you did think was going to be rewarding for you. It's an energy of being forced out of something, or leaving something behind, something that no longer works for you, something that no longer is the right path for you. So it does feel as though there's a situation here which is to do with your environment. It could even be to do with a home situation here as well. It could have something to do with family, friends, but it does feel like it's a home related situation. Which is possibly why the Two of Wands is saying that it's time to rethink this. And this may be why the Four is here as well, because you may be feeling very kind of stubbornly like you don't want to leave this, you don't want to move on from this, you don't want to bring it to a close here, even though on some level you know that you need to, and that you need to start looking for a new direction here. And over the top of the over the top of Justice, we have the Five of Swords. So that's two fives that have come out here as well. So that's kind of halfway through a cycle in a way. Change, fives are change, changing energy, things shifting. But it's also a sense of it can be a sense of self-sabotage. It can be a sense of that you are not in control of something. And that could also be this Justice energy here. As I was saying, it's something outside of yourself, and that may be what you're feeling, is that you don't have control. So maybe that's also why you're holding on as tightly as you can to whatever it is that you can hold on to, because you are feeling as though you're kind of losing that that security, especially with this Five here as well, because this does talk about being pushed out. As I was saying, there's a lack of security in the Five of Pentacles, a lack of security, a lack of feeling supported as well. And that could also be reflected here in this Five of Swords. Not feeling as though you have any control over a situation, that it's out of your hands. Which, when the Justice card is there, it does imply that it is out of your hands in many ways, because like I was saying, the situation, the future has already been decided by the past and whatever is happening in the present, because the past has led to the present, which is creating your future yet to come. And of course, Justice is also about karma as well. It's about actions. It's about the actions that we have taken and the consequences of those actions. So that could be for yourself, Aquarius. It could be for somebody who you are in a situation with as well at this time. The So this Justice card may be about you and somebody else in your life here. It could be to do with a family, like we're saying, a family situation. It could be a breakup. Over the top of the over the top of the world, sorry, you have the 10 of Swords. So there's a lot of mental activity going on here. Again, it's in reverse. Oh, actually the 5 wasn't in reverse, but the world is in reverse. So there is this sense of painful ending is how it's coming through. Something that you're kind of thinking, come on, get it over already. Don't drag this out any longer. Don't drag this painful situation out any more than it needs to be. Or again, somebody could be thinking about this about you as well. You are maybe caught in this energy here, Aquarius, in this 10 of Swords energy of wanting to finish something but still not being able to, again because of this energy here. And it does feel to me as though something needs to be dropped here, something needs to be released, something needs to be kind of accepted that it's gone as far as it will go. And that there is something new on its way. But you first of all have to drop that kind of stubborn fixed. I mean, Aquarius is a fixed sign, and so it doesn't find it easy to accept things that it doesn't want to accept. And it does feel as though there's a sense of kind of digging heels in here as well. The 10 can also be a feeling of complete exhaustion, like totally, like your head is kind of, you've just been over and over and over the same thing for a long, long time now. Just kind of just reliving or reimagining different scenarios, possibly trying to get out of a situation that you feel as though you've mentally, there's no let up, there's no freedom from it, there's no kind of, you can't see any way out, especially when the 10 is in reverse. But another good thing about the 10 in reverse is it is saying that it is a final energy here. There is an ending. It may not seem it at this time, because again you've got this world cycle, which is this is a big it feels like quite a karmic cycle here that you're closing out, Aquarius, something that has been ongoing in your life for quite some time, that is reaching its final stages, but it just seems as though it's taking too long, or it's taking a long time. Over the top of the 3 of Cups down here, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And so, again, coming back to this situation where I feel as though somebody kind of forced themselves into a situation that they weren't supposed to be in. It feels kind of like a forced friend in a way, particularly with this Knight upside down. Like somebody who you thought you could trust, but it turned out that you couldn't. Knight of Pentacles, when he's up the right way, he's very trustworthy, he's very loyal, he's very hardworking, very dependable, somebody who you can rely on. He's the person everybody turns to if there's things that need to be done. It's like that energy, that person, the earth sign energy here of Taurus, Capricorn and Virgo, steadfast, sort of the earth type of characters. But when it's in reverse, it's kind of saying to me that they may have come across like that, but actually they had a very different motive here. There was kind of an ulterior motive. And they weren't honest, they weren't trustworthy. And they kind of, it feels like they kind of wrecked something for you, is how it's feeling today. Like initially you may well have been kind of, yay, you know, up for partying, and some of you maybe even it turned into threesomes. I've got to say it because it's just come into my head. So it could have even been something like that, that turned into a, not just a third party, but for some of you an actual threesome that then became complex, complicated, and this person may well have caused a lot of difficult situations. I'm feeling a lot of kind of like, this isn't for all of you, this is kind of just for some Aquarians out there who may have wanted to experiment and been a little bit more adventurous and a little bit kind of like, you know, alcohol was flowing as it does and everything got a little bit out of hand to start with maybe, and kind of, but it seems to me as though this person already had that in mind. They were kind of already thinking along those lines. For some of you it could just be more of a threesome, as in third party, not a threesome as such, but a third party kind of pushing themselves into your relationship and kind of not turning out not to be what they presented themselves as originally. And it is feeling as though somebody ended up getting pushed out into the cold, and it may not have been the third party or the person who instigated a threesome here. And it could well have caused things to go in a different direction. But you also have the Knight of Cups come out here with this opportunity. So it is saying that there is something new coming into your life here, Aquarius. But you do need to drop this first. You do need to let that go in order to allow this new energy to come in. This new love. This Knight of Cups here, somebody who's looking for the right person. And somebody who you can rebuild something with here, or build something with. Some of you, it could even be that you fell in love with this other person and you're still wanting to take that further, but you're having to get out of a marriage or a long-term relationship or something that wasn't necessarily easy for you to leave. But there is this opportunity, a new opportunity that does involve you being more able to express how you really feel as well, is what's coming across here. Able to be able to really kind of show your romantic side, your loving side, your it feels like something that's going to make you emotionally happy here, emotionally successful. I'm just going to put another card on top of the Knight of Cups here as well. I want to clarify this. Knight of Cups, of course, is the water energy. It is Pisces, Scorpio and Cancer energy. So it is intuitive, it is instinctual, it is something that you feel rather than think. It's something that's very something you can't ignore, especially when it's upright. And it does feel like it's an opportunity to, like I said, grow something new here. And we have the Judgment card here as well, which has come out upright. Which is good because this is saying that this is a chance, this is going to be a chance to lay the past to rest here, to move forward, to let things go. And it is all about kind of divine timing as well. It's like when divine timing steps in, then things flow a lot easier, things move easier, quickly, it feels right. If it feels right to you, then trust it. Trust what you're feeling. Trust the instincts, the instincts, the instinctual side of yourself, the intuitive side of yourself. Which, going back to this Hawk Spirit card here as well, kind of saying that this is what you're not doing at this time. You're not listening to your inner voice. You're not trusting your instincts here. You're not seeing the signs or the warnings or picking up the signals that are trying to help. It's like the universe is trying to help and guide you here, and you're not taking any notice of it. It's like you're still trying to do your own thing in your own way, which is, again, I think this Four of Coins here is kind of stubborn energy of like, I know what I'm doing feeling. I think that's where the stubbornness is coming in. It's kind of like you not listening, but I think that's going to change. I think that things are going to change here. I think you are going to shift into a new energy. You're going to shift into a new approach, maybe, to things as well. How you've dealt with things in the past could well change. Because the Judgment energy is also about laying the ghosts to rest, laying the past, bringing it up, sorting it, forgiving it, releasing it, letting it go, and forgiving yourself as well. That's another big aspect of this energy as well, is forgiveness of the self. So there may be parts where you feel as though, and this could also be this 5 here, you may feel guilty about something here. This might have had a lot to do with this. This may have been you. It could be, again, third party, or it could be like I was saying, 3 people in a relationship. That kind of, at first it seemed good, at first it seemed like fun, at first it seemed like a really good thing, or a really fun experimental thing to be doing, but it kind of lost its shine somehow. And I feel that it is due to somebody, like I was saying, this energy here not turning out to be necessarily what it appeared to be for somebody. Could even have been backstabbing here, because there is the 5, and often talk about guilt, feelings of literally feeling like you're being stabbed in the back, which the 10 can also represent as well. Often the 10 shows a figure lying on the ground with all these swords impaled, or just about to impale them in the back. So there could also be feelings of that as well, of guilt that needs to be let go of, that needs to be released in order for you to be able to free yourself and move forward out of this situation. And I feel that will come with time, because that's also what this, what's it called? Timer is doing down at the bottom there. It's kind of representative of divine timing, and of course the Justice card is also representative of divine timing as well. Karmic events, things that have kind of been taken out of your hands, which was kind of what I was feeling about that card earlier on. So let's see what the Moonology cards have to say here for you. See what the Moon Wisdom is, Aquarius. It says luck is on your side, and it's the new moon in Sagittarius. Of course, Sagittarius is about the bigger picture as well. If there's one thing that Sagittarius can do, it is see the bigger picture, which is really what this hawk energy is saying here. Is kind of stop looking at things in a kind of microscopic way. It's kind of like you're really looking at the details, but the details are kind of becoming overwhelming. That's how it's also feeling here. So this is saying luck is on your side, things are going to go in your favour. There's also like the arrow as well, shooting the arrow in the right direction as well, like, you know, with this new path that your challenge is. If you kind of shoot that arrow and follow where it's going, is kind of what I'm getting from that energy there. Because Sagittarius energy is very expansive, it's very bountiful, it's very optimistic, ruled by Jupiter. It's very kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of here? Apart from expansive and expanding, and another word, and it's eluding me at the moment. What is that word? Jupiter. It's also a gift as well, Jupiter. So you could kind of look on this as being something that may be difficult at this time, but you may find later down the road, when you look back, that, you know, what happened has actually set you off on a path that's been a lot more productive and a lot more fulfilling for you, Aquarius, even though at this time it may not feel like that. Later like I was saying, when you look back, you may realise that it had to happen. That whatever happened was for a reason, which again can be the justice energy as well, that it happens for a reason, even if we don't like it or we don't want to accept it or see it that way at the time, and it can be very painful. And if you are feeling guilty, then you need to look at where that guilt is coming from and why, in order to be able to release it and let it go, because it's not going to work in your favour if you're going to continue carrying that around with you, that kind of guilt and sabotage energy, because it could bring in that sabotage. And that could also be something to do with this down here as well. So I was saying you could feel as though you have sabotaged something, but maybe it was meant. Okay, so you have the blessed treasure within, Aquarius, which is this beautiful card here, this tree with all this kind of abundant fruit and shining stars and hearts on it, especially that star at the top there, which kind of reminds me of this energy here, this kind of shooting your arrow into the sky, and kind of the star that you follow. So the blessed treasure within is saying the qualities you admire in others, you also possess. There is a treasure within you. This card is here to help you reconnect with the well of wisdom, creativity and beauty inside you. It is time to shine your light. And maybe that's also something that had you not gone down this difficult, painful path, you wouldn't be able to shine your light in quite the same way. That you would have stayed in the same energy, this energy here, as I was talking about earlier, this energy here, and you wouldn't have progressed, you wouldn't have evolved, you wouldn't have grown into the person that you're going to grow into here, Aquarius. So that's what's kind of coming through for me in this reading. So I'm going to finish it there and say, really do hope that you have got something from this and that it has helped you somehow. It does feel as though it's been a bit of a kind of painful situation is what I'm picking up, and that you possibly, Aquarius, are blaming yourself quite a bit for this. So again, kind of need to let that go. So yeah, if you have enjoyed it, could you please thumbs it up and like it for me, because it does help to get it out into the bigger, broader YouTube world where the algorithms can pick it up, and then it can get put out there into the bigger, again, you know, it can go to other channels and it can be picked up and seen by other people, and other people can come back to my channel as well and subscribe to my channel if they like what they see. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And to those of you who have thumbs up my videos as well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that as well. It's really kind of affirming when I go on and see that people have thumbs it up. It's like, oh, that's good. That's how I feel. So also, if you want to subscribe, there is a little red button on my videos where you can go and do so by tapping that little red button, and it will take you there, and you can then kind of tap on the bell if you want to get the future videos out as well. I have playlists as well. I put all my stuff on playlists. I do all of the zodiac signs. I do the full moon, the new moon, astrology and tarot readings for both. And also, I'm sure there was something else, but that's just completely gone out of my mind. So if you feel like sharing it, that's what I was going to say. If you feel like sharing it, if you think anybody else out there is going to benefit from hearing this reading, if you know anybody who is in a similar situation, then please feel free to do so, and comment as you feel fit. If you want to leave me a comment, that would be wonderful as well. It's always nice to get some feedback from people out there and kind of connect in a different way. So again, Aquarius, please take really good care of yourself at this time, and take really good care of anybody else around you at this time who you can, and hopefully I will see you again soon.